Hey everyone. All right. So we're going to be talking about Paul Dianno, Wrathchild, the Anthology today. Um, this is a collection of songs by Paul Dianno, who was the original album recording vocalist for Iron Maiden. There was actually a vocalist before Paul Dianno, but Paul Dianno is the vocalist that was on the Iron Maiden album and on the Killers album. All right. Um, so you're going to hear a bunch of songs on here that you've heard before, and chances are you're watching this because you're an Iron Maiden fan, anyways. All right, a couple things I want to get into. Okay, so Paul Dianno was in Iron Maiden from '78 to '81. He left in '81 due to fighting with Steve Harrison. Iron Maiden was Steve Harrison's band at the end of the day. So that's just a thing. Okay. Then Paul Dianno went solo 83 to 85, started releasing a bunch of stuff, was doing covers, whatnot, etc., etc. All right. Then in 85, he also created the band Gog Magog. I like the name. Which, interestingly enough, if I'm reading this correctly, had Clive Burr on drums, Yannick Gers on guitar, and Pete Willis as well, and bassist was Neil Murray. So, 3 Iron Maiden guys in Gog Magog. 2 post-Iron Maiden, 1 pre-Iron Maiden. The fuck, right? Okay. And that's even funnier when you think that Yannick Gers got into Iron Maiden through Bruce Dickinson. So, yeah, just crazy, right? Okay, then after Gog Magog, we get to the band Battle Zone, which ran from 85 to 89, and then in 98 made a comeback. All right. Then moving on from there, in 90, we had a small time in Praying Mantis, and then the band Killers from 90 to 97, and 2001 to 2003. A bunch of prison stints, having, looking for sanctuary from the law. Okay. Then Nomad 99 to 2001, 2003 to 2008. And then you got Rockefellers 2008 to 2010. The Swedish band. Oh, that was his touring. Yeah, the dude's all over the place. Okay. So I was trying to narrow down the songs on here to figure out where they were all recorded, when they were all recorded, stuff like that. Who played on what songs, etc., etc., etc. Best as I can figure, these recordings, the band, the musicians on this album, are comprised of Icarus, the guys from Icarus Witch, which are very talented musicians. I've heard a few. I usually only hear covers from them. I don't think I've heard much in the way of originals, but man, Icarus Witch can definitely do some good covers. And then there was a Brazilian band used as well, which are labeled in here. When I listen to the Iron Maiden songs, they're really well done, but you can tell they're not the original Maidens that have been remastered or anything like that. They're re-records. Outside of that, yeah, let's get into the track list here because this is the best I got. I've really kind of got into the intro there a little bit more than I wanted to. I really, like I said, I wish I had more info, but even Wikipedia's got nothing on this album, man. So let's do this. All right, album's up with Wrathchild. Of course it does. Believe it or not, Wrathchild is an Iron Maiden song I have never been a huge fan of. It's not a bad tune. It doesn't do much for me, honestly. Then you get Iron Maiden. I love Iron Maiden. Who doesn't love Iron Maiden? You know, great song. First song on here, I didn't know, The Living Dead. Now, this is the problem I've got with the fact that I can't find anything on here for this album specifically. I'd have to go through each individual song out of Dianno's discography to try and hopefully figure out where the hell these songs originally came from. I have no clue where The Living Dead originally came from or any details about it. So I don't know what to say on that one. But not a bad tune, you know, all the way around. I should say as well, and before I go any further, the write-up in here, the reason why I'm guessing it's Icarus Witch or the Brazilian band is Icarus Witch, dude from Icarus Witch wrote this in here, did this little write-up, which, oh my god, splurge, make it a couple more pages and blow up the font just a little bit. Frig, that was brutal on my eyes. I know I'm getting old, but come on, folks. It's us old people that are buying the CDs. Didn't have this problem in my 20s. Okay. Or in my teens. The other thing I have to go by is whatever's listed here in the back for the track listings and whatnot. And Paul Dianno is a writer on The Living Dead, so I know it's at least one of his songs. All right. And the reason why I mentioned one of his songs is the next song is a pure on cover. It is Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. Is it faithful to the original? Yeah, it's pretty faithful to the original, but at the same time, it also has its own unique personality and whatnot. I really dig this cover. I think it was really well done, and I would highly suggest you got to check it out. Sit back, enjoy it, and crank it up and listen to it, man. Give it a real solid listen. From there, we go into Van Halen's Ain't Talking About Love. This was fantastic, man. Oh my God, this is really good. I hate to say this because, you know, my buddy Pat's a huge Van Halen fan, and I like Van Halen. I do enjoy Van Halen. This is one of those ones I really do like from the original Van Halen album, and I think the original Van Halen album is probably the best Van Halen album there is. But there's a possibility I actually like this cover better than the original. You know, like it's all there. Everything's there. It's just somehow there's something about it's got a little more. I think it's just the modern production on it, maybe, but it's got like a little more balls to it. I just love it. Then we go into Megadeth Symphony of Destruction. I thought I was going to like this one more than I did. And I think the problem is honestly, you're never going to beat Megadeth's version. I don't think I'm going to find a version where you're going to be, and that's because Dave Mustaine has such a unique voice, right? And I really do like the things they do with Dianno's vocals on here, and I really do like how they put some effects on it and play with it, and he gets a little character going, has some personality on it, but it just not quite there. Then we're into Hair of the Dog, man. I love this song. It was a good song. I've played with my buddy Matt live, even just him on guitar and me on drums, just wailing on it. And it's just a fun song to play. So anybody who ever covers Hair of the Dog, I don't blame him for covering Hair of the Dog, man. It's just, you let it all out and have fun with that one. And I enjoy me some Nazareth. Then we got Murders in the Rue Morgue. So back to Iron Maiden. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Okay, so I think I've covered the Killers album and Iron Maiden, like the Iron Maiden album. I think I've covered both of those, and I very much prefer Iron Maiden over the Killers album. Nothing wrong with the Killers album. It's a good album. Really, you know, it's got some great quality choice tunes on there and whatnot. But there's just something about the first album where the songs hit me just a little bit harder and hit me a little bit more. So with Murders in the Rue Morgue doesn't quite hit me the same way as say the next song, Running Free, does. Now Running Free, I absolutely love Running Free. I like this cover on here, but you can tell it is not the original. For sure, the drums are close. The drums are so close, but they're not quite there yet. The drums are probably closer to how I play them when I try and play it, because they're just missing that little extra couple like ghost-like notes almost in them. All right, next track. I really love that this one's on here because it's a B-side. Never been released on any of the major albums. You can only get it when they do special packages with the singles, stuff like that. Even though it was a single that had its own video and everything, and that is Women in Uniform. Great tune. Really enjoy it. I don't understand how or why it never made it to a proper album, or why it would have been left off for other songs. Now, that being said, Europe and England in particular, I know for sure, are a lot bigger on singles, especially back in the day, they were a lot bigger on singles. So to release just a single without anything else to go with it, like without it being related to another album, so like that was a lot more normal to do. You know, the Beatles did it pretty regularly. So I get that. The problem is Women in Uniform never made it on any of the greatest hits albums or Best of the Beasts or any of that type of stuff. And kind of even got thrown aside over the years. You know, like I don't know if there's any, you know, proper live songs with it or whatnot, or if Bruce has even ever looked at it or touched it, you know? Like it's just, which is a bit of a shame because good tune. And I like the sentiments behind the Women in Uniform. Then we're into Remember Tomorrow. Decent tune. Slower tune. Definitely slower tune, moodier tune. Kind of cool that way. But not a song I've ever been a huge fan of with Iron Maiden. Then we get into a cover of Thin Lizzy's Killer on the Loose. Oh, love this song. I love the Thin Lizzy version of this song. You get into that. That's really good, man. But then you get into this cover in it, man. And Dianno and the band just take it and they kind of notch it up a little bit, which is really, really good. You know, just give that modern power kick that it needed. Then you get into a weird cover wouldn't have expected. ZZ Top's Sleeping Bag. And the part with this one that's really crazy is they hit it down really good, right down to those cheesy digital sounding drums, man. Like maybe they are just using a drum machine for it. I'm not sure, but like they get that cheesy drum machine sounding drums like perfect on this song. It's like the tone and everything is just so perfect. And hearing those heavy not screechies, that heavy growly screaming kind of sleep inside my sleeping bag. That it works on this song. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it works. And I really, really just totally dig on it, man. You know, just absolutely love it. Next song up is Satan. Satan, and this one is also a Dianno tune as well. And the reason why I say it like that, Satan, is because it's actually S.A.T.A.N. Well, no dot after that. Anyways, you get where I'm going with that, okay? It's not a bad tune. I don't mind it. You know, whatever. On this collection, it kind of feels like it might be a little bit of an album filler. Then you got the song Phantom of the Opera. You know, how can you not dig the song Phantom of the Opera, right? You know, just that that riff, man, that intro to it and everything. That wow, just such a great tune. Then you got the song Nomad. I don't mind this tune. Thought it was a good way to close off the first album. I mean, it's the three Dianno songs that are on here, The Living Dead, Satan, and Nomad. They're not bad tunes. They're very enjoyable tunes. But when you're putting them up against, what could be classified as, arguably the best of Iron Maiden's first two albums, mixed in with a bunch of just top-notch killer covers and performances on those covers, it's kind of easy to sort of downplay Nomad a little bit. All right, disc 2, we got Killers. Great tune, now this album has a lot more, I'm guessing, Dianno tunes, bass stuff we're going here with. Madman in the Attic follows that up, which is a Dianno tune. War Machine, also Dianno. Now, when I say Dianno, I mean Dianno post Iron Maiden. I don't know where they fall in the grand spectrum of Dianno albums or bands. I'm assuming Nomad from disc 1 was from the Nomad period. Okay. Madman in the Attic and War Machine, they're okay tunes. Don't mind them. They're kind of fillers. Then you hit Sanctuary, as in Sanctuary from the Law. Of course, that's going to be on here. It's a great tune. Then you got Shoot Shoot. This is not a Dianno tune, but I don't know who it originally is. I'd have to check, unfortunately. It's not a song. It's a song I kind of recognized, but I don't know. Then we're on to Cold War, another Dianno tune. It's all right. Do or Die, another Dianno tune that's kind of all right. Then we're on to Strange World, as in Maiden Strange World. Good tune. Then we're in a Broken Down Angel, as in she's just a broken down angel. I'm not singing the rest because I'm worried about getting copyright hit, man. Someone did that. I heard about that the other day. Someone sang 2 lines out of a song and they got copyright hit for it. So I'm not doing it. Great classic tune. I really enjoy it. I want to say Nazareth was the original band on Broken Down Angel because that's how I know it. That's like the one cover I have of Broken Down Angel is Nazareth doing it, but I know they're not the original ones doing it. So, yeah, in the comment section down below, who is it that does Broken Down Angel, folks? And Shoot, I do not remember. And, once again, I'm not digging. Okay, Brothers of the Tomb follows that up, which is the Dianno tune. Not bad. Then you got Charlotte the Harlot. I love Charlotte the Harlot. Now, one thing that needs to be mentioned here is really interesting is a lot of the Iron Maiden songs are Steve Harris songs. Like he's the only one that penned them. Some of them Dianno's got in there, but the reason why I mention this is Charlotte the Harlot is legendary for being the only song that Dave Murray ever penned exclusively by himself. At least up until this point, that may have changed. I don't remember. I'd have to check one or two of the last couple albums. Like, not to say that Dave Murray hasn't co-penned other songs, but 100% Dave Murray song. POV 2005 is the Dianno tune, which is okay. Then you got Prowler, the Iron Maiden tune, which isn't bad. Dog Dead. I actually enjoyed Dog Dead. It stuck out a bit for me compared to a lot of the other Dianno tunes. Children of the Revolution. Not a Dianno song. Not sure on this one. Didn't mind this tune. This is actually a live tune that was included on here, and I thought it was pretty good. Then it finishes off with two more covers. The first cover is one of my favorite funk tunes to get down and boogie to, and that is Play That Funky Music from, I believe, what is it, Wild Cherry? And oh my God, metal and funk are like the two perfect combinations always. You know, whenever Rob Zombie grabs an old funk tune and does it up, you know, like when he did Brick House, for example, absolutely brilliant. You know, and Paul Dianno doing Play That Funky Music is spectacular and so enjoyable. This cover inspired me to honestly want to put together a list of like my 200 favorite covers of all time. And excuse me. And I absolutely love this, man. Like I just put this in every time that this album's in the car, man. I just get to this track and I just crank it right up. Windows come right down, and I make sure everybody can hear it for blocks away as I'm going. I just bounce it away as I go. And the worst part is, I drive the car as slow as possible while I'm doing it. I want everybody here as long as possible. For music, wild boy. Yeah, it's just great, man. Cherry way to end the album. Except there's one more song. And this next song, man, it goes with soul and metal. Go together too. And the reason why I say that, man, is we're talking about James Brown. We're talking about living in America. Ha! Yeah. Jump out. Yeah. Jump out. Yeah. Living in America. I'm doing it that way for copyright purposes, but you get what I'm saying, man. I love James Brown. I love this song, man. I've always thought it's a great song. I love the Weird Al cover, Living with a Hernia, as well. I'll be honest, I kind of almost would have loved to have heard Paul Dianno do Living with a Hernia instead. I think that might have been even cooler. Way to legitimize. But Living in America, man, this version of it, like, I love the original. I enjoy, you know, but to hear this done up, completely metaled, and, you know, obviously there's certain things that have to be done for you know, just for instrument purposes. Just fantastic. So good. I mean, just so well done. I believe it was Tracy found this one first. Him and Han put it back. I picked it up afterwards and looked at it and went, $20. Gotta do it. So this is really cool. This was definitely picked up in Grooves in London, Ontario. I really enjoy Grooves. Grooves is a fantastic store. If you're in London, Ontario, you gotta go check out Grooves. The problem is it's in London, Ontario, and it's in downtown London, and downtown London has gone to crap. This was marked March 31st, 25 for $20. I bought this in August, so you're talking 5 months later. It wasn't even a full 5 months later. It would have been 4 months and change later. And happily pay the $20 for it, but hated walking to the store to go get it, man. Like, it's just, they've really got to do something about downtown London. Like, downtown Windsor was in really rough shape, and they finally started doing some stuff to kind of curtail the... And this is not a thing against homeless people. It's the state of the sidewalks. Like, people are homeless, and that sucks. And trust me, man, if it wasn't for Tracy, my ass would probably be homeless too, okay? So I understand how close I am to that. And I have more than one or two friends that are in the same position that, you know, with the way that wages are and how bad rent is, they could just as easily be living homeless, you know? So this is not me taking shots at homeless and the homeless problem in London. This is me taking a shot at the fact that it looks like a drug den right across all the streets, man. Like, they got to clean up big time. They really do. So, all that aside, if you are in London, check out Grooves. You never know what awesomeness you are going to find there, because this was totally worth the $20. The $20 was worth just the disc 1. And even though on disc 2, for the most part, outside of the Iron Maiden songs and the last 2 tracks on there, I'm a little more wishy-washy towards it. The $20 just on the first album alone and the couple other tracks on the other side, I think is completely worth it. I totally have paid it. So, those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Have you checked this out? What are your thoughts and opinions? Let me know down below, as well as if you can let me know who was it that originally did Shoot, Shoot, and Broken Down Angel. That'd be awesome. All right, folks. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, please and thank you. I'm really trying to hit 200 on the subscribers. On your way down to the comments, because please leave a comment. Feel free to check out the links that are down there as well. Hopefully they've been posted at this point. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care.